Okay, so a little bit of an update on today's hearing. AH's team, done with Cross. They wrapped it up. Now, JD actually gets a chance to explain some of the things that they put in, which a lot of this, by the way, is, I'm not sure on their strategy here. It seems to be to focus on a lot of the hyperbolic things that he said in text, which, as I've explained before, like a lot of these are when he was angry. Some of it seems kind of out of context, and now he gets a chance to explain that context, which is good. And I'm going to show you some of the stuff that he said. There was one thing, though, that Hurd's team did that I thought was kind of messed up, is that they put in like 10 articles, hit pieces, that came out before Hurd's op-ed. And the context to them, not given. They don't go through them. They're hit pieces, which everybody in Hollywood gets. Hit pieces pretty much written on them. But the strategy of Team Hurd just seems kind of stupid to me. Maybe it'll work, though. I mean, a jury is unpredictable, so I don't know. But I want to show you something that he said. So I have a little clip here I want to start off with. This is him explaining how it felt when that hit piece came out. Even if I had done an interview to try to explain myself, it became a hit piece. My mouth was shut. This is him, of course, on the false accusations and the reality that men face when accused. They saw me as guilty until proven innocent. That's JD on Disney and his Pirates franchise. I'm going to show you that clip next, but here's this one.
How did you feel when you saw the op-ed for the first time?
Objection asked and answered just now.
My prior question was about his reaction.
All right, I'll allow it.
Hurts. Yeah, a blinding hurt. It was like somebody hit me in the back of the head with a 2x4. And as I said, I had no ability to speak prior to, because even if I had done an interview to try to explain myself, it turned into a hit piece. So my mouth was shut. And this was the opportunity where I thought, something's got to be done. It's just got to be done. I couldn't take it anymore.
I wanted to include that clip because it gives his thoughts on what it was like to not be able to talk and give his side of the story here. Imagine that. Like having someone put slanderous lies out on you, and there's nothing that you can do. You can't explain it. No one wants to listen. Everyone's already painted you as a monster. It's awful, and it really is something that I want to stress because, you know, think of all of the men that have this happen to them. Think of the women that are looking at this too, and knowing that, you know, somebody like Hurd is putting shit like this out there and what it does to people. This is one of the reasons they don't like someone like her. But, you know, you have a lot of men that go through this, and they feel silenced. No one's willing to listen to them. And I think that that's a pretty powerful statement. Then you have him actually talk about the fallout with Disney and the Pirates franchise, which is very interesting because this is the first time he's ever been able to talk about how he felt betrayed by them. Listen to this.
Mr. Depp, how did you feel when you learned that you were being dropped from the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise?
Well, it was the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. It was a character that Captain Jack Sparrow was a character that I had built from the ground up, and was something that I of course put a lot of as you do with all characters, but you put a lot of yourself into the character. So, and also having worked on these films with these people and having added much of myself, much of my own rewriting of the dialogue and scenes and the jokes and whatever they are, I didn't quite understand how that, after that long relationship and quite a successful relationship, certainly for Disney, that they would, that suddenly I was guilty until proven innocent.
Up until the point that you learned that you were not going to be in the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise any longer, what was your intention with respect to future Pirates movies?
The last thing that I knew from I say there's the producer team, there's the creative team, and there were many discussions. I, in fact, had been approached to take part in writing
Objection,
Pirates
hearsay.
6.
Mr. Depp, what was your intention with respect to future Pirates movies, aside from what you'd been asked to do?
My feeling was that these characters should be able to have their proper goodbye, as it were. A franchise can only last for so long. There's a way to end a franchise like that, and I thought that the characters deserved to have their way out of to end the franchise on a very good note. I planned on continuing until it was time to stop.
Mr. Depp, last week, Mr. Rottenborn asked you about a quote where you said you wouldn't come back to the Pirates franchise for $300 million and 1 million alpacas. Do you remember that?
I do.
When relative to learning that you would no longer be a part of the Pirates franchise, did you make that statement?
I think long before I made the statement, there was a very deep and distinct sense of having been betrayed by the people that I had been working with, the people that I had worked hard for, the people that I had delivered a character to that they initially despised, but somehow, you know, even I stuck to my guns with the character and it seemed to work.
So after that, they started to go through a lot of the text messages that got leaked because, well, as I've stated before, his phone data was accidentally somehow given to the UK people. And one thing that he focuses on here is that text message about Amber Heard burning in a Honda Civic trunk, right? Which is obviously a joke, and it came from Monty Python. And he explains that here.
For example, the text that is about burning Ms. Heard it's directly from Monty Python in the sketch about burning witches and then drowning the witches. This is a film that we'd all watched when we were 10, and it's just irreverent and abstract humor.
Then finally, the last bit of testimony that I want to throw in here is him talking about how Heard was very good at pushing his buttons and how it made him feel like a little boy again. And the connection to the abuse that his mother gave him and Heard. Now she knew about his life and decided to use that against him because she's a manipulator, which is exactly why she did that.
Ms. Heard was well aware of my past, my childhood, therefore was very adept at knowing exactly which buttons to push. So at this point, I mean, I felt like, well, I was that little boy again in my head, like, I guess I am incapable of doing anything right. I guess I will never be happy. I guess that this is who I am. I can't get along with this person. But it's confusion, you know. It's nothing that you can. It's nothing that anyone could sustain for any length of time. It's nothing that anyone should have to.
He's right. Nobody should have to go through that. Nobody. He also addressed the monster, that big thing that Heard's team likes to talk about, the monster. How the monster is supposedly this thing that comes out, and that's the abuser. No, it was about sobriety. The monster was sobriety, addiction, and it could also be me responding to the verbal back and forth, screaming obscenities. The monster was the guy dumb enough to take part in arguments that get nowhere. Johnny Depp on the monster, which Amber Heard said is domestic abuse. I would just walk away, which drove her through the roof. And then, of course, Amber Heard takes jokes and texts and acts like they are proof of abuse. And then he shares this right here. This is, of course, on that Umbrella Guy's Twitter feed. A lot of good stuff coming out from this. It talks about why would he chop his own finger off? That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense at all, and it's true. Trying to get around that story that she's putting out about how she denies that she did it. Anyway, really good stuff. I imagine today all of this will wrap up. I think he's off the stand today, and then more of his witnesses will take the stand, and then I think maybe next week she takes the stand, and that is going to be really interesting. Anyway, I'll have more updates. Let me know what you guys think. How do you think the trial's going? What are your thoughts on the stuff that you just heard? Let me know in the comments. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, make sure to follow me over on Twitch. I do watch parties, play video games over there. They're always fun. Follow me over there and come hang out. Also, make sure you subscribe to YellowFlash, my other channel. There's a link to that in the description as well. I do a lot of live streams over there that I don't do on this channel. Usually smaller and a little bit more personal. So make sure you follow me over there and sign up.